We're going to talk about the new technology that goes into the new fuel cell cars with hydrogen. And so we're going to talk about this. How are you, Chris?
Good, Javier. Thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure to share information about our company with your listeners.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can you tell us a little bit about the company? Because as I said, I have driven actually the Hyundai Santa Fe hydrogen fuel cell car, and your company actually has something that is an alternative to this, right?
Yes. So let me give you a quick introduction to the company. The company is NIA Power Systems. We had in excess of $58 million invested into the company from the likes of Intel Corporation, Novellus Systems, other Tier 1 VCs. In November 2013, we acquired another company that was based in Vancouver, British Columbia. As part of that acquisition, we acquired some technology that is very well suited for automotive fuel cells. So NIA is a fully reporting public company. There's a lot of information available about the company on either through the SEC website or through NIA's website. So our ticker symbol is NPWZ, Nancy Peter William Zebra. So any of your followers can research us and find a lot of information, very exciting information about us that's publicly available.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so we effectively have three products. One product that's geared to defense and commercial type entities. We have a consumer product. But for purpose of our discussion, let's just focus on the automotive application that you're referring to.
Yeah. So some manufacturers have already produced cars that are powered by fuel cells with hydrogen. Actually, BMW was way ahead of the game years ago, and their slogan was, "We're ready when the technology and the infrastructure it is," because they had the car, and it was a 7 Series with hydrogen cells, but it hasn't been very popular because the infrastructure is not there. Hyundai has one program now, and there's like a few stations in California, right?
Yeah. So this is a very interesting problem, right? Because fuel cells effectively are one of the cleanest sources of energy. So we are all rightly concerned about global warming and other issues. So one of the ways to deal with that is to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide generated by cars.
Yeah.
Fuel cells do that, but the infrastructure problem that you're referring to, Javier, is that today most of the fuel cell cars have cylinders of hydrogen, compressed hydrogen strapped, and they make the claim that they are wrapped in Kevlar or other safety concerns to mitigate some of these safety issues. But not too many of us want to be driving around sitting on a cylinder of hydrogen, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the safety concern. But from an infrastructure concern, today there is no national hydrogen pipeline that allows you to use a gas station. There are a few one-off systems in places like California, like you pointed out. There are a few in Japan and few in Germany, but it's really not it's not widespread. There's Department of Energy reports that say that effectively each state would have to spend anywhere from $5 to $20 billion to put a pipeline infrastructure, similar to how we get natural gas being delivered to our homes, to create a similar type of infrastructure to get hydrogen to be more commonly available. And this Formyra reformer technology that we have, we believe really addresses that concern in a very significant, very differentiated way.
So how does it work? I mean, and how is this safer? I mean, you already explained more or less that the actual fuel is safer, but how do people charge the cars? How do they get it, and all those things?
Yeah. Great. Let me address that. There's a white paper on our website, niapower.com. It gets into a lot of technical detail around how the technology works. But at a high level, we use a proprietary blend of formic acid. Formic acid is one of the weakest acids. It's that sting that you feel when an ant bites you. It's a lot safer than diesel or gasoline. It's a liquid. So it can be handled exactly the way gasoline or diesel is used today. So whether you want to fill up at a gas station, or you want to be able to buy a few gallon tank that you have at home. It's no different than gasoline. The way it works, and this is where our we've got 2 pending patent applications around this technology. You store formic acid exactly like you would gasoline or diesel, the way it is handled today. You can distribute it the same way, but we have what is called a reformer. It reforms or converts the formic acid into hydrogen. So rather than carrying a cylinder of hydrogen wrapped in Kevlar and effectively sitting on a little rocket, you're carrying formic acid. Reformer generates just the amount of hydrogen that you need, and then that hydrogen is fed into the fuel cell. So whether it's the type of fuel cell technology that, say, BMW is using, or Hyundai or Toyota, the hydrogen can then be fed to any of these type of fuel cells. So we believe it's a very differentiated, it's obviously patent-pending technology that can meet this requirement.
And have you already, I guess you already have done some testing with these cars that are available? I mean, like the Santa Fe that is available in California now with your product?
We have done testing at much lower power ranges, so not necessarily for automotive applications. We've used it for a variety of other applications to show that we can generate hydrogen and the hydrogen can run the fuel cell. We are currently in early discussions with some of these automotive manufacturers. I cannot mention names, but if there's interested automotive partners who would like to explore this technology, we welcome that dialogue.
And I guess this will bypass, as you were saying, the infrastructure, and then the consumers will get this product. Where would they get this product?
Yeah, so as the fuel cell cars become more mainstream adopted, we need to create certain distribution infrastructure. But you could effectively use a gasoline station the same way that it is used today, delivering the Formica fuel in tanker loads to the gas station, and then be able to fill your car there. Again, we need to have partners like basically gasoline companies who are visionary enough to start figuring out the next generation of fuel delivery systems, and we believe that this can do that.
So from the knowledge that you have gathered and all the information, when will you think this will be broadly available for the consumers?
So today all of the companies are test marketing and introducing these to validate it. I think realistically it's going to be anywhere from 2 to 4 years before it's more widely available. Even think of electric cars, right? When you introduced all electric cars a few years ago, there were not too many charging stations, and other companies had to deploy charging stations for that. So I think with fuel cells, it's obviously very promising technology. It's a large opportunity. It's the way of the future. You're going to see more automotive companies being required in some cases to develop fuel cell technology. Mm-hmm. So as part of that, I really see more mainstream deployment in that 2 to 4 year, 3 to 4 year type time frame.
Yeah, the hydrogen cars, as we were saying before, I mean, they're being available for a long time. Actually, besides the BMW, I remember Chevrolet Equinox, I think it was, that was doing the rounds of the media tours around the country like 5-10 years ago even. But again, the problem is the infrastructure, right?
Yeah, the big problem is really the infrastructure. How do you get gaseous hydrogen into your car? Right? What we believe we've got with the Formica technology is something that allows you to use a liquid fuel, and you can repurpose existing gasoline stations to be able to handle and deliver formic acid as well.
And what about the cost? I mean, how do they relate? What's the difference between the hydrogen that is used now with, for example, the Hyundai Santa Fe and your product?
Yeah, so the cost is very very comparable between carrying a liquid and the reformer technology versus the cost of hydrogen. When we look at it, we are assuming just the purchase cost of hydrogen. We don't include all of the other costs of building the hydrogen plant and all of that. So purely on an operating cost, we believe our solution is comparable or even better than using compressed hydrogen.
Yeah.
So on a cost basis, it's equivalent or better, but on a safety basis, it's orders of magnitude better in our opinion.
Yeah. So we're talking with Chris Dakota from Neo Power Systems. And again, can you please share the information about the website where our audience can look for more details about this new technology?
Sure. Our website is neapower, NEAHPOWER.com. You can also Google our ticker symbol NPWZ, Nancy, Peter, William, Zebra, and get a lot of information that we file in our public filings related to our patents, technologies, and the company.
Excellent, Chris. Thank you very much for your time and information. In fact, it's very, very exciting, and so hopefully we'll talk again before 4 or 5 years when we think this is going to be more available. Okay.
Thank you for inviting me, Javier, and I look forward to coming back and updating your followers on various exciting developments of the company.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time again.